That is my screen. So today we are picking up a conversation that we began. Just give me a second to clear something from my screen. Okay. Okay, so welcome on board. Like I said, it's really good to have you here. And for us to continue learning, we began a conversation last week with Coach Maina Azimio. This is a conversation that we are going to continue with. Today, we are talking business. This is Azima Wellness Consultant. So today we are talking business. We pick up on where Coach Maina left last week. He shared with us quite a bit about the opportunities that are in the sporting arena, especially for us as Kenyans. We are recognized all over the world. We are sporting giants. And he also pointed out that we are not effectively tapping into the opportunities that are out there. So today, even as we talk business, we're going to look at how we can tap into some of these opportunities. We are looking at how we can monetize our gifts and talents, because I believe that each one of us has a gift, talent. Each one of us has a arena, so that these opportunities don't pass us by. And our focus today is on business in sports. So let's move along together. I believe this is an image you have seen before in the recent past. I don't know whether I should just zoom it a little to make it a little clearer for you. Aha. So these are World Athletics Under 20 Championships medal winners, Kenyan youngsters on top of the world. That's the caption. That's what the caption reads. And if you can see my cursor, that arrow that is moving, it's just moving around something that's written there, golden faces. So these are golden faces. And tonight I ask a question. If they are golden faces, is there a chance that there are golden opportunities as well? Not just for them, but for us as well. And must you be an athlete? Must you be racing with them for you to tap into these opportunities? We are going to look at that because these young people have made Kenya proud. They have put us somewhere on the map. They actually brought in, no, I think that's not right. They didn't bring in because they were at home. This is our home ground. They managed to retain 16 medals for us, and we are really proud of them. So are there opportunities that they present that we can also tap into using something we already have, a talent, a skill, a passion, a gift? Those are some of the things that we're going to have a conversation about tonight, this evening. Now, just for us to get to understand a little better what we are talking about, what is this we want to tap into? What kind of money is out there? What kind of physical activity is there out there, so that we understand what it is we're talking about. When we say we are missing out on opportunities, or there are opportunities out there waiting for us so that we can tap into them, what are we saying? What is on your screen is the global physical activity economy. So this is just giving us an idea. This is as of 2018, and this gives us an idea of the kind of money that is out there. So that tonight probably, or this morning or afternoon, again, depending on where you're joining us from, we'll be challenged enough to want to partake of this, because I believe each one of us can tap into this and go away with a share with your percentage. So the global physical activity economy is at was at $828 billion, not shillings, $1 billion. And I want to believe we have mathematicians, accountants in the house. If somebody could quickly do that arithmetic for me and just hit the chat box and let us know. Translate this to Kenya shillings. What are we talking about? What is our figure? 828 billion, and that was in 2018. So let's break down this figure of 828 billion. We have $109 billion again. Kindly somebody translate that to us in terms of shillings so that we understand the kind of talking about $1 or $9 billion again in fitness activities. So if you're a fitness enthusiast, if you love going to the gym, this is what we are talking about. That's the kind of money that is in that sector. Then 368 billion in recreational physical activities. Any physical activity. I mean, you love dancing, you love sporting, that's what you do for fun, you love playing a game. Again, that is the kind of money that is out there. Again, kindly, somebody, please translate these figures. Amount of money we are talking about in Kenya shillings. Then we have what we call mindful movement. Mindful movement. And here this refers to when you engage in different exercises, when you're placing your attention on what it is you're doing. So you're not just doing it to get it over with, but you're focusing. It could be focusing on your breathing. It could be focusing on the exercise. You could be riding a bicycle and you're focusing on that. Mindful movement, $29 billion. Again, my friends, that is a lot of money. And then we have this other sector that is referred to as the enabling sector. And it enables, in other words, we are saying, this is not the actual sport. It's not the going to the gym and working out. It's not playing football. It's not racing on a track. It's not exercising. It is those things that enable this exercise to go on, that enable this sport to go on. So $109 billion was spent on equipment and supplies. You're talking about a treadmill. You're talking about balls, footballs. You're talking about that machinery, any machinery you can think of, equipment that enables now the training. You're talking about dumbbells, like in my image, you can see a weight, that amount of money. And then $333 billion was spent on apparel and footwear, that is clothing. Here we are talking tracksuits, we are talking t-shirts, we are talking shoes, sportswear, we are talking, what are we talking? We are talking tights, we are talking sports bras. So any kind of apparel, clothing, and footwear. And then finally, $26 billion on technology. So you're talking about the kind of technology that there is a technology that is called video review technology. And this one enables referees, for example, if they need to make a decision to improve on decision making. Was that a goal? Was it offside? What was that? So this is the kind of money we are talking about. Global physical activity economy. My friends, this is a lot of money. Mary, I don't know whether we have any figures in the chat that have translated this for us. What kind of money are we talking about in terms of Kenya shillings? Just so that we can bring this closer home. Mary? Okay, maybe I could request somebody to just unmute your microphone and just share with us. What kind of figures are these we are talking about in terms of Kenya shillings? Before we move on, so that as we talk about tapping into this sporting economy, tapping into these opportunities that are out there, we really understand what we are talking about. And we are charged enough to want to partake of this just a little bit. Any mathematicians? $828 billion. How many Kenya shillings are those? $109 billion. How many Kenya shillings are those?
Someone just sent in something here. Mary Perpetua is saying for the $828 billion becomes 82.8 trillion Kenya shillings.
My goodness. My goodness. Kenya shillings, trillion. Now we are talking about trillion.
Yeah,
thank you. Thank you so much. 83.8 trillion Kenya shillings. Thank you so much for that. Now that's what we're talking about, my friends, so that even as we continue, we have a picture, we really understand what it is that we are talking about here. Let me just zoom back so that I can move on to my next slide. Okay, so some facts again for us to look at, again, just to help us appreciate what it is we're talking about. Some facts about Kenya, Kenyans and sports. Number one, Kenya is a sporting giant. True or false? Kenya is a sporting giant. I believe that is true. That is a fact, because we have seen the kind of global recognition we have received because of our athletes, our footballers. Second fact, many Kenyans love sports. And an example of the sports that many Kenyans love is athletics and football. True or false? How do I know this? Why do I say that? Let me ask a question. If we have any football enthusiasts, fans here, how much time do you spend watching the Premier League? It is a lot of time. I can almost imagine, I can almost hear you saying that. How many players do you know by name? How many managers do you know by name of those companies, of those teams, or those clubs? Again, that shows that we are very enthusiastic about sports. Another fact that we can check out, Kenya is mostly a cheering nation. We really value and appreciate our athletes. We value our sports personalities, we cheer them. When we are watching the Premier League, for example, they're those teams we're going to cheer, and we're really excited about this. And tonight, I'd like to challenge us. I'm not saying we should stop cheering them, because it is important. We are proud of them, and we need to cheer them on. But we need to move beyond that. We need to move from cheering, being a cheering nation, to tapping into those opportunities that are there, so that as we cheer, we also have something left for us. There's also something we are making out of that. So something else, another fact is that sports is an industry. We're saying it's an industry with complete value addition. What does that mean? For Eliud Kipchoge, for example, to be out there winning, the winning does not start and end on the track, right? Yes, it doesn't start and end on the track. He has trained. So there is a coach that is training him. There's equipment he's using in training. There is a diet that he is using. And so many other things. The sportswear that he's putting on. And all those other things that come with preparing him to be a champion. So can we tap into this sports industry? Is the thing we're talking about tonight. So sports generates more than $1 trillion annually. Sports generates more than $1 trillion annually. And I'd like to ask $1 trillion question. Kindly Lewis or Mary, could you help us out and maybe request the participants to mute their microphones? Thank you very much. Okay, so sports generates more than $1 trillion annually. And I'd like to ask not $1 million question, but $1 trillion question. What percentage of this have you tapped into? Or what percentage of this can you tap into? Again, please share this with us. Hit the chat box. Talk to us. Have you tapped into this? Do you have ideas? Have you covered? We're going to share some opportunities tonight just to see how we can work on this. And this is the place where we are going to start, because tonight our focus is on you. Our focus is on the gifts that you have, the talents that you have, the skills that you have, and the passion that you have, because that exists. And even before we go into this in detail, maybe could you share with us, what is a gift according to you? What is a talent? Is it one and the same thing? Because many times we use these terms interchangeably. I talk of a gift when I mean a talent. I talk of a talent when I mean a skill. I talk of a skill when I mean a gift. So again, feel free to share with us in the chat box. And we shall be having some of those things that you have shared. We value your opinion. We value your feedback. Share with us. What do you think a gift is? And do you have one? You're probably now thinking, do I have one? Don't I have one? I can assure you, I guarantee you, you do have one. But let's hear some of those definitions, your feedback. What is a gift? What is a talent? Lewis, I don't know whether we have any responses in the chat concerning this. What is a gift, a talent, a skill, a passion?
Okay, let me see.
Okay.
So Furaha is saying talents are
Mhm.
inherent.
Mhm.
What comes naturally to us?
Mhm.
Then
Mhm.
someone else is saying a gift is innate.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for those responses. And just an encouragement to us, no answer is wrong. Coach Maina keeps reminding us of that. No answer is wrong. It's probably just a reflection of where you are at that particular point. So keep them coming, keep sharing them, and we shall definitely look at them in due course. So let's look at a few distinctions here of a gift, a talent, a skill, and a passion, and a few examples as well. And again, maybe you can locate yourself in some of those that we have listed here. These are just a few samples. So what is a gift? A gift is a natural ability that is given to you by God. It comes to you naturally. You don't even struggle. It's something that just comes naturally. It could be your voice. Maybe you have a deep voice, you have an authoritative voice. It could be your organization. You have this sense of organization. You know, you walk into a room and it's all messed up. There are things all over, and within a few seconds, you've put things in order. It could be hospitality. You're the kind of person that, you know, ensures people are well taken care of. When you have visitors, you want to know what they will eat, and you plan for these well. You want to make them comfortable, and it just comes naturally to you. It's not something you struggle with. So this is inborn. It's a natural ability, a gift from God. And what is a talent? And somebody actually responded, I think that was Furaha, that it's inherent. It's actually an inherent ability to learn and relearn. And what do we mean by this? You can have a gift and not put it into practice. You can have a gift and not sharpen it. You can have a gift and not activate it, just let it lie there. So you never get to be the best that you can be of it. And an example of this is your voice. You can have a deep voice, a strong voice, but unless you practice singing, for example, or public speaking with your voice, that is, then you never get to become a gifted, sorry, not a gifted, a talented singer. So you have the voice, and somebody tells you, hey, you have a really good voice, you have a strong voice, but you're not using it, you're not practicing it, you're not sharpening it. So in that case, when we talk of talents, we're talking about that inherent ability to learn, to unlearn, to relearn. Again, it's something that is inborn in us, and it's polishing up on the gift that you have identified, or the gift that is in you, rather. So you're practicing it. And a few examples of these are singing, dancing. You could be a talented singer. You've practiced. It doesn't just come naturally, because even the best need that practice. So their voice is good, but they need to practice. You could be a very good dancer, again, because every time there's a beat that is played, you know, you find yourself moving to the beat. But again, this has to be coordinated. So you practice and you become talented. You could be talented in leadership, a very good leader, talented in public speaking, talented in sports. We see a lot of sporting talent in Kenya. And I believe even in my audience today, probably there are sporting personalities as well that have these talents. Now, what about a skill? A skill, on the other hand, is the ability acquired by training and practice, your expertise. What have you trained in? I want to believe many of us have some kind of training. Maybe you're a trained teacher. Maybe you're a researcher like myself. Maybe you're trained in business. Maybe you're a computer expert. You could be an accountant. So that is a skill, because it's not something you were born with. It's something that you. Then finally, passion. Passion, and I believe each one of us has this as well. So passion is a strong liking or desire for something. What are you passionate about? What strong desire do you have? What are some of the things, you know, you feel this really drives me, it gets me going. You think about it and it excites you. You don't struggle to do it. You don't, you know, drag yourself to go and do it, because anytime you think about it, you're re-energized. You could have a passion for sports or fitness. As a Christian, you could have a passion for, you know, just seeing people come back to God and getting saved. You could have a passion for healthy eating. So you don't just eat anyhow. You're very keen. You check what it is you're eating. You could also have a passion for cooking, for empowering people. You could have a passion for speaking to people, sharing, getting people to move from one point to another. So all those are examples of passion. And maybe before I move on too fast, you could have identified one. Or even as I share these, you're probably thinking, I can almost see, the wheels in your head turning, and you're like, okay, so what's my gift? What is my talent? What is my skill? What is my passion? So if you have any of those, again, let's keep the conversation flowing in the chat. If you have identified your gift, your talent, your skill, your passion, again, kindly share that with us. We'd love to hear from you. And maybe you're here and you're wondering, so, how am I supposed to even know? How do I identify that gift? How do I identify that talent? And a few questions here can help us to do that. They can guide you. Question 1, what do you enjoy doing? What is it that you do with ease? You don't struggle. Is it cooking? You think of cooking and you just find yourself trying out your free time when maybe you're not working and you're not required to do a certain assignment, maybe at your place of work. What do you spend your time on? What do you do so well? What is that one thing that you do so well, or those two things that you do so well? Again, you don't struggle to do them. Another good question is, what would you do for free, willingly, even if you're not paid? You'd still do it anytime. You'd wake up, do it. You'd wake up, go to the gym anytime. You'd wake up, talk to people anytime. You'd wake up, empower people anytime. You'd wake up, go and play football anytime. What do people say about you? Again, very important. You might not even know about it. Do I have somebody trying to respond? Okay, probably not. So what do people say about you? Sometimes it could even be in jest. You're an accountant, or you're a teacher, or you're a businessman, and somebody says, I don't even know what you're doing in business. I think you should be joining Akina Eliud Kipchoge, because the way you sprinted off that day, there is something about you. Somebody says, why aren't you working with Churchill? Because every time you open your mouth to talk, people are just laughing all over, and you don't even find anything funny with what it is that you have said, but you do have a sense of humor. So what do people say about you? And finally, what training do you have? Again, the training would point at the skills that you have. Okay, now that we have looked at that, have you identified a skill? Have you identified a talent? Have you identified a gift that you have? Have you identified a passion? What is this you're passionate about? And now you're asking, okay, yes, I have all those. I have a skill, I have a talent, I have identified this. So what next? Now we look at some unseen opportunities. How can we use these skills? How can we use our talents, our passion to tap? And these are basically to industry. Kenya is a sporting giant. There's so many things that we can investment, sports facilities, because Kenya is a sporting giant. We have many sports facilities within. So we can look at sports facilities, sports equipment, sports maintenance, the facilities maintenance as well. And when we talk of sports facilities, what facilities are we talking about here? We're talking about gyms. Do we have gym enthusiasts, fitness enthusiasts here? So we're talking about gyms. And what do we have in those gyms? Because a gym is not just a building, it's not just a room. What are some of the basics you'd find in a gym? You'd find an exercise mat or exercise mats, many. You would find dumbbells. You would find a treadmill. You would find an exercise bag, a resistance machine, aerobic steps, punching bags, kettlebell, tummy trimmer, and the list goes on and on and on. And the question I'm asking myself, and that I'd also like to ask you, where do these things come from? Because definitely somebody is supplying them somewhere. These gyms are getting these things from somewhere. For there to be a sporting event at a stadium, then there are many other things that would have gone into this to make it possible. Their administrative, so that they can watch and cheer. Their club lounges, their luxury suites, their stores, their public restrooms. There's a kitchen, there's a ticketing office. Again, is there an opportunity we can pick up from there? Swimming pools, beaches, courts, a basketball court. Think about it. It's not just an open space. Something must have gone into that facility. So we can actually identify opportunities in even just installing, putting up those facilities for it to be possible for these athletes or these sports personalities, for people to go and play basketball, for people to go and play football, for our athletes to run on that running track. There's some investment that was put in. And we are saying that we can actually use our talent, our gifts, our passion to tap into this, to be the suppliers of these things. Let us look at a more practical example. Fitness, because we are talking about sports, fitness, and let's consider a gym. So there is this gym that is in existence somewhere. It could be a public gym, it could be a hotel gym, it could be an institution gym. These have equipment, or they may not have equipment. So is it possible that we can seize this opportunity and equip those gyms? Or these gyms have equipment, but not all the equipment that they need. Or some of the hotels we know about, some of the institutions we know about, or that we can access, do not have gyms. So we can either install a gym, equip it, supply it with equipment, or we can supply that equipment to a gym that already exists. Let us look at some figures so that we can bring this down to something more practical. What is some of the equipment that you already mentioned that we can find in a gym? We have a skipping rope that goes for 300 shillings. Again, these are just average prices. You'd find it at more or less, either less than 300 or more than 300. An exercise mat goes for, on average, you're talking about Kenyan prices. An exercise mat goes for 1,000 shillings. A set of dumbbells goes for 2,000 shillings. An aerobic step one goes for between 38,000 and 200,000 Kenya shillings. A multifunctional workout bench goes for between 20,000 and 35,000 Kenya shillings. A stationary bike, again, that you get in a gym, goes for between 35,000 to 40,000 shillings. And finally, a tummy trimmer goes for it ranges from anywhere between 600 Kenya shillings and 2,500. You're probably wondering, a jump rope, one jump rope, of what good is this to me? I want to show you of what good this is. If you chose to supply one gym, let's just start with one gym. If you thought of supplying one gym, you considered supplying one gym with jump ropes. So you supply this jump rope with 10, not jump rope, sorry. You supply the gym with 10 jump ropes. So 10 times 300, how much is that? Some quick arithmetic. And again, I want to assume that 300 is the price of one jump rope. If you're buying them at a wholesale price, or even 200, again, depending on your bargaining power and the quantity of what you're buying. So let's do this arithmetic together so that eventually you can help me come up with a figure so that we make this practical. So you're supplying a gym with 10 jump ropes, each going for, let us even just use the 300 Kenya shillings, because you've bought it at 250 or 200. Of course, there's your profit margin. There's what you're going to make out of this. So that is one gym. Then an exercise mat goes for 1,000 shillings. So you supply the same gym with 20 exercise mats. How much is that? I hope somebody is keeping track of that for me. So we have 10 times 20, that is 20,000. That is 20. And then you want to buy maybe 20 aerobic steps. So here we are talking 3,500 times 20. Again, I hope somebody is keeping that arithmetic, keeping tabs on that for me. Maybe you want to have 2 treadmills in this gym because probably it's starting out, so you may not want to start out with too many treadmills. So 2 treadmills, and maybe let's put it at 50,000 Kenya shillings for 1 treadmill. So 2 treadmills, that is 100,000 Kenya shillings. A multifunctional workout bench that goes for between 20 and 35,000 shillings, Kenya shillings. You want to buy 2 of them. So let's put it at 20,000 shillings. So times 2, that is 40,000 shillings. Then there's the stationary bike. You want to buy 5 of them. Or let's even make it 2. Let's not be too ambitious. Let's make it 2 for a start. And one goes for 35,000 shillings. Times 2, that is 70,000 shillings. And then we have the tummy trimmer. Again, these are just basics. There are things I'm even leaving out that you could also want to have in your gym. A tummy trimmer, let's go for 600 shillings, not even on the higher side. 600 shillings, you want to have 2 or 3 of them. Let's put that at 2. That is 1,200 shillings. So that is one gym. I don't know whether I have any response on gym. Lewis, kindly help me out. I don't know whether you have any responses in the chat. Just an overall general figure.
Okay, let me see.
Not yet.
Not yet. No,
not yet. No problem. Okay, we can still just not yet. All right, no problem. But I believe we get the figures we are talking about. So this is just one gym. Now imagine if you purposed and got serious about supplying such equipment to 5 gyms around where you live. How many gyms are there that are just starting out? So you can, strike a deal with them. And this is very easy money. This is quick money. So depending on the kind of gym you're talking about, the size, the location, the kind of clientele you're targeting, again, you can adjust those figures so that this is something that you can easily work out. So if you're passionate about sports, or for example, you're a gym instructor, already you're a gym instructor, so you're skilled, you have that skill. These are some of the opportunities that you can tap into. Or maybe you're not necessarily even passionate about sports, you're passionate about business. You're a skilled business person. Again, these are opportunities for us to tap into so that you can supply. Another opportunity, even with the same gym, this same treadmill, this equipment needs to be repaired when it gets damaged, or it needs to be maintained. And again, here, this is another opportunity for you to tap into that. So if you did maintenance of treadmills, maintenance of a treadmill goes for roughly about 5,000 shillings, again, plus or minus. But if you have the same gym we talked about earlier, you have 2 treadmills. So you have 10,000 Kenya shillings in terms of maintenance, and then you have 5 gyms. So 10,000 times 5, just in terms of maintenance alone. So in a month, you've probably gone round to each of these gyms. So in this case, you're talking about 50,000 Kenya shillings just from the maintenance alone. Okay, let's move on to something else. Gym membership. In case you decide you want to begin a gym. Remember, I'm focusing on this because we are looking at sports and the opportunities we have. So gym membership, the average amounts in terms of Kenya shillings, membership. So you begin a gym, you have your daily member or member. So you have 5 people that come daily. They don't want to sign up for the entire week or to sign up for the entire month or to sign up for an entire 6 months. So you have 5 members. Again, if I can have someone helping me out with this, that can really be helpful. So you have 500 shillings as the daily pass, the daily rate. So this single member that comes on a day per week from this one person, 500 times 5, let's assume they go to the gym for 5 days. So 500 times 5, what amount? So if you have 5 such people, 2,500 times 5. And then you have the monthly membership. You have a member that signs up monthly. So they are paying 5,500 Kenya shillings per month. And then you have 10 of these, or you have 20 of these, again, depending on where you're located, depending on whether you're starting out, plus or minus. It might be 500 per day, it might be 300, it might be 700, but now we're just using an average figure, at least for us to get our hands on this. Then you also have 5 members, for example, that have paid up for 6 months. So they've paid 16,200 Kenya shillings times 5, because they are paid up for 6 months. Again, if you can do that quick arithmetic. And then you have the 12-month membership. Maybe you have another 5 people that have signed up for 12 months, 33,000 Kenya shillings. How much money are we talking about in terms of membership? Again, some good amount, a handsome amount, if I can put it that way. Okay, another opportunity that is open to us is fitness or recreation or a gym instructor. This is an opportunity for you to also make money. If you're fully employed, a fully employed gym instructor or recreation instructor or fitness instructor, that means they are stationed at one place, one gym. They don't freelance, they don't move around. Makes between 58 and 172,000 Kenya shillings per month. Is that something you'd like to try out? Maybe you're not even a gym instructor. You're thinking, I love working out. I'm excited about the gym. Can this be something I can consider? Then I skill. Now I get trained. I polish up so that I can become an instructor. And I'm coming to that in a short while. Then the freelance instructor makes anywhere between 500 and 2,000 Kenya shillings per hour. So assuming this freelance instructor has 3 hours in a day or 4 hours in a day. So in the morning from 6 to 7, they are at gym A and they make 1,000 Kenya shillings or 500. Let me not even be too ambitious. Then at midday, they're at another gym for 1 hour, make another 500. In the evening, they're at 2 different gyms, making another 500 and another 500. So that is 2,000 Kenya shillings per day. Per week, assuming they have those classes. So 2,500 times 5 days or times 6 days, including the Saturday and maybe rest on a Sunday. Again, how much are we talking about here? Or you could also choose to be a personal trainer so that you're going out to your clients, training a specific person, one person. So they could either come to a gym with you or you could go and meet them in their home. They could have their own gym, whatever interest they have in training or in fitness. Another opportunity for us, and here we're talking about certified fitness instructors, accredited fitness team, and 22,000 Kenya shillings. Again, this is an opportunity we might want to look into. And maybe you're a therapist. You can do sports massage. This is also an opportunity for us to make some money. Look at the kind of money that a sports massage therapist makes per hour. Between 1,500 and 2,500 Kenya shillings, 1,500 and 2,500 Kenya shillings. Are you getting ideas? All right. Let's move on to another alternative, another opportunity, sportswear, accessories. These same sports personalities that we are talking about, the Kipchoges and the footballers we are talking about, or the fitness enthusiasts, the students in schools, they require sportswear or accessories. Tracksuits, let's look at some of the prices. A tracksuit would go for between 1,600 and 7,600 Kenya shillings. Again, depending on what you're looking for, it could be more or less than that. A pair of sports shoes, good sports shoes, between 500 Kenya shillings and 4,500. These people that go to the gym, these people that exercise, these people, the athletes, the footballers, the rugby players, where are they getting these things from? Is it possible that we can supply them? So if you're supplying tracksuits, let us not even go too far away. Let's just talk about tracksuits. One set or one pair going for 1,600, that is on the lower side or on average. And you want to supply tracksuits to an institution. And it is a requirement for students in this institution or members of that institution to have tracksuits. If you're talking about a school, for example, students going to Form 1 must join with tracksuits. So you're talking about, on average, a school having maybe about 500 students. Form 1, that is one school, times 1,600 Kenya shillings. One school, times how many schools can we supply? How many schools do we have in a county? How many schools do we have in our locality? Again, this is another opportunity for us to invest. And like I mentioned earlier, we don't have to get onto the track and give Eliud Kipchoge a run for his money, because I'm almost sure, for me at least, I would have nothing to write home about because I'll be beaten terribly, terribly, terribly. Sports shoes, gloves go for between 700 and 3,800. Those people that work out in gyms lift heavy equipment, so they need those gym gloves. If you're to supply several gyms, 5 gyms with, say, 20 pairs of gloves or 10 pairs of gloves, how much is that we are making? Fitness trackers, t-shirts, shorts, bikers, tights, sports bras. Let's just do that arithmetic. What I'm saying is that there are opportunities out there. Can we go for them? Is somebody getting inspired? Please keep your comments coming. Lewis, kindly, as I take a breather, are there any comments or questions in the chat that?
Okay, let me check.
Maybe we could address, or observations. All right.
Okay, let me see.
Or maybe in answer to any of my questions.
Yeah, actually, we have answers to your questions. So after the answers I gave you on talents and gifts, someone, Bernard Sirma was saying,
maybe we could sample.
Yeah, Bernard Sirma was saying Messi gift, Koinange voice is gift, then Ronaldo talent. Yeah, then coach is here. He was saying he's in the house. Welcome, coach. Then David Masai was saying skilled and bespoke communicator and talented athlete, passionate dresser. Guess he's talking about himself. Yeah, then someone else was saying,
passionate about fashion.
Yeah, a passionate dresser, talented athlete. Then coach was saying he's a talented entrepreneur. Yeah, so that's the last comment from coach.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Lewis. Thank you for those comments. Kindly keep them coming. We really value your feedback. Coach Maina, thank you very much. Welcome. It is an honor to have you here and to have you join in with us. Karibu sana. Okay, let's look at some more opportunities. You're probably thinking, okay, you're just talking about sports. What if I'm not too thrilled about sports? I'm not into that gym thing you're talking about. I don't even run. I don't even like dancing, any of those activities you're talking about. Is there nothing in this for me? ICT, this is a skill. You're a computer expert. So you could have this skill and you can also tap into the same sporting industry. And how can you do this? You can become a software developer. How much does a software developer make in Kenya? For every software developed, Kenya shillings plus. So it could range from 20,000 Kenya shillings to even 1 million, depending on the kind of software that they are developing. So you might not be the kind that is too thrilled or passionate about going to the gym, and probably your voice, you're not an entrepreneur, but you're thinking, I can develop software. I can tap into this sporting thing. So that if you're talking about those clubs, they require software to run their activities. So you could develop software, communication software, website building software, payroll software. And how much does a software developer make per month? Kenya shillings 100,000. Actually, this is a figure from Safaricom. Safaricom software developers are paid 100,000 per month. Again, these are ideas that we can tap into. You could also, as an ICT expert, you have that skill, you're a computer expert, you could brand sports attire because we've talked about sports gear. So you want to buy those, remember the figures we were trying to add up. We're talking about supplying several schools with tracksuits. These tracksuits could be branded, they could have the school logo, or even if they don't, now that is your opportunity to do that. How much does a good logo cost? When you come up with that logo, when you're branding, a good logo goes for between 5,000 and 800. Sorry, let me say that again, 5,000 to 8,000 Kenya shillings. So how many schools are there? How many institutions are there that require their equipment to be branded? How many gyms are there that might require that branding as well? They may even want to brand their gym attire and you're the ones applying that attire. So again, this is another opportunity for us to tap into. And online podcasting is also an opportunity for us to tap into based on that skill. Another opportunity here, a sports event organizer. So you're a gifted organizer. Remember, I mentioned that you could be gifted at organization. You know, you walk into a place and you put everything in order. Where there was disorder, people get, aligned. There's a lot of order coming in. You walk into a room and everything is all over the place, and it takes you just a second to get everything back in order. So you could be gifted, and this is an opportunity for you as well. You don't have to go to the track and race with Eliud Kipchoge. I'll keep reminding us of that. So an events organizer, a sports events organizer or manager makes between 48,000 and 360,000 Kenya shillings per month internationally. And maybe right now, if you've not started out on this, you're wondering, not internationally, really, like seriously? Yes. Let's look at locally. What are some of the activities or events you can organize? You can get gyms together and organize a challenge, an outdoor activity where you're bringing several gyms together, 5 gyms together. Each gym has a membership of maybe 50, a membership of 100, a membership for them to have this challenge, or they can go hiking. Our coach Maina is passionate about hiking. He has been at the top of so many mountains. So, and I believe there are many other people here that in my audience that are also passionate about these different things. Boot camps. Again, you could approach companies, institutions, they have their own activities. So you can organize events for them. For institutions, you can have football matches, competitions between institutions, this and that. You can organize runs, you can organize walks. And these come with many other opportunities for the other talents that we have not even mentioned. That talent that you have, that gift that you have, that skill that you have can now find its place in these other opportunities. So somebody organizes an event, and I want to believe that somebody comes from one of us here, and then there are all those other opportunities. Nationally, you can organize marathons, tournaments, matches, runs, walks. Again, these come with their own opportunities because this is not for free. Again, like we said, there's that salary that an event organizer makes. At the international level, the World Athletics Under 20 Championships that were held recently in Kenya, somebody organized that. And I want to imagine they didn't wake up one night or one morning and start organizing that. They started somewhere. So again, for us, there is that opportunity to start somewhere so that eventually we are going to be the organizers of Olympic Games in the next so many years. We are going to be part of the organizing team of the FIFA World Cup and the UEFA Champions Leagues. I hope you're getting some ideas from this. And this one now is again another very good opportunity with the change in curriculum, the CBC competency-based curriculum. Again, here there are so many opportunities because learning is based on the needs and the potential of individual learners. They don't have to focus on maths and language and English if they're not interested in it. If they're interested in sports, then that is what they develop, because sports is a learning area in the new curriculum, and it's also a career pathway. Meaning this young boy or this young girl, if they're interested in becoming a ballet dancer, then they are able to do that. They can be nurtured to do that. If they're interested in developing a career in sports, because that's what they are gifted in, that's where the talent is, then they are able to do that as well. So what are we saying? This CBC requires certain things. It requires playgrounds. Those children require playgrounds and facilities. What does that mean? There is an opportunity for us to prepare this playground, to prepare these facilities, to maintain them. If we are preparing a track in one school, what does that cost? And if we replicate this, do this in several other schools, how many schools do we have in a county? Nairobi County has at least 52 secondary schools. So if we are to do this, by the time these children that are now doing the CBC curriculum get there, or now we go to court, for example, what is the cost? Because we can provide these facilities, prepare them, and also maintain them so that we keep going back for maintenance, which is another opportunity again for us to make some income. Then there is also equipment. There are balls, rackets, goalposts, nets, hockey sticks, bikes that are required. Very many balls. How many balls do you think footballs, for example, or basketballs or volleyballs are required in one school of 1,000 children? It can't be one ball, neither can it be two balls. You're talking about maybe about 100, at least 100 balls. If one ball goes for 1,000 Kenya shillings, so for one school alone, you're supplying 100 balls. So 100 times 1,000, that is 100,000 shillings. Times 50 schools. My goodness. I don't know whether I'm the only one getting excited about this, but the opportunities are there. Sportswear or kits, because for these children to develop careers in sports, because we are saying sports is a career pathway, they require the right attire, they require sportswear, they require those kits, they require shoes, they require t-shirts, they require tracksuits, socks, stockings, and all that. Again, we can supply this, we can sell them to them, we supply them. And then again, just do that quick arithmetic. A tracksuit goes for on average 1,600 Kenya shillings. You have this school that has 1,000 pupils, or 500 students, or 800, or 3,000, whatever the figure is, again, times 1,600, times the number of schools, times 52 schools, at least 52 schools in Nairobi County. Again, look at that, more opportunities for us. These children, or this curriculum, requires branding of the equipment of their sportswear. It requires trainers and coaches. Might you be the next trainer? Might you be the next coach? Because this is an opportunity for us as well. Let's move on. Keep your comments coming in the chat. We'd love to hear these again from your gift of hospitality. You want to take care of people. You want to make sure they are comfortable. Let us even just consider the what did we call it? The World Athletics Under 20 Championships. They just ended. Lewis, kindly help me out. Thank you. So if we are to consider that, we had so many people, the sports personalities, the fans that came from outside the country to come and experience this. They were in Kenya. Where were they staying? They were definitely staying somewhere. Some of them were staying in hotels. Is there a way we can tap into this, or do we just sit and say, okay, there are enough hotels, I won't even make it if I try. There's something called Airbnb rentals. This is converting your home or a section of it necessarily. You already have a house, you already have that facility. So you make it comfortable enough for somebody to come and rent it. So tapping into that. If these championships take 1 week or take 2 weeks, these took about a week. Per night, an Airbnb rental goes for between 20 and 100 plus US dollars per night. Again, depending on the locale, where are you, what is the locality, who are your clientele, it could be plus or minus that, especially plus, not minus that. So this is Kenya shillings 2,197 in just one night, times 7 nights. That is 1 week, or times 4 now for the entire month, because now it's not, you're not just targeting these people that came to attend this event. Again, you still keep getting people into the Airbnb. So that is good money for you as well. A travel or a tour van for rent or for hire, because these athletes or these students or these institutions or these sporting personalities that have come from outside the country to come and take part in this activity, or to come and just continue with their training while they are around, they require transport. What is the cost of hiring a van, a tour van in Nairobi for per day? This translates to 21,970 Kenya shillings. Here you have taken care of the driver because you're providing a driver, you have fueled the vehicle. Again, this is a good deal. So it might not just be that tour van, but whatever kind of vehicle or transport vehicle that you could be thinking about. Translation and interpretation, these people that come from outside the country, the sporting personalities that want to tap into what we have here in Kenya. Many of them are not Kenyan, so they don't speak Kiswahili. Some of them don't even speak English, but they want to walk around our streets. They want to experience Nairobi. They want to visit our tourist sites. They want to go to Mombasa, Eldoret. So they may require an interpreter, somebody that can go along with them and just help them experience and interpret for them. So what does a translation or interpretation job pay for 1 hour? Between 30 and 40 US dollars per hour, not per day, per hour. This translates to between 3,295 Kenya shillings and 4,394 Kenya shillings. Let's stick to the 3,295 Kenya shillings for 1 hour. So you're with this person in a day for say 5 hours or 4 hours, so times 4, again on the lower side. How much is that? I hope somebody can do some quicker. Yes, Lewis.
Yeah, just to interrupt you a bit, I just want to know if
no problem.
They can allow us some time to wind up because we are past the time, past the set time. So I don't know if maybe they can give us a little more time. You wind up. The coach has said he's not going to do it today because of the time. So kindly, I need your response on that, everyone, in the chat box if possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Lewis. I'll await your response and permission if it's granted. If it's not granted, then
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Coach.
Thank you very much. I am impressed by the presentation. I'm sorry that I tried to join in when I was on the road, but because the road, when you go up and down, the network cannot flow until I got back home, but I'm happy to be here and I like what's happening. Yes, today's business talk normally go for 1 hour from 8 to 9. So it's always good to request for permission from the members present, if we can continue. And maybe Marisa, you can tell us maybe how many more minutes you require to be able to wrap up, so that when we are asking how long more time we need, we are exact. So maybe looking at what you have done, and we also need a bit of question and answer to be able to get feedback from the members, so that it's them you want to help to make money from sports, because sports is a big business. As you started, you're able to indicate how many billions it was worth. It is growing, and we would want to see what is in it for us and what can we do. I had wanted to come and tell people that we have a lot of money to give people who want to start businesses which can thrive. The reason why Kenyans are not getting funded when the right proposals is because the right proposals that honestly can't make much. You need to come up with a business proposal that when you send it to an angel investor or a venture capitalist, they look at it, they can actually see, they can even feel the opportunity itself. So basically what we are doing is that we are going practical now and looking at businesses which can pass funding once we get into the level of requesting for money. Well, this series of talks started from Azima Business Funding Talks. Funding Talks is how we can get more Kenyans qualifying to be funded by the alternative funding facilities, not banks which ask for security, but we have got angel investors, we have venture capitalists, we have got private equity fund managers. There's so much money in that space, and what do they ask for? We are unpacking the opportunities which can qualify. And I'm saying this because I'm a venture capitalist, I am an angel investor, and now I'm actually a judge of the pitches that were done by into Tony Elumelu Foundation. We began yesterday, so we are in the process of judging the pitches which were done by people who want to get funding from Tony Elumelu Foundation, and I want you to benefit. I want to bring that benefit to Kenyans, and especially Azima family. So Marisa, thank you very much for the work that you're doing. So Lewis can tell us if they have given permission, but how much time do you need, Marisa, to finish your presentation? That is one. And then Lewis can tell us what is the responses like, because it's always good to respect people's time as we do, but they give us permission.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Coach, for coming in with that and for that guidance as well. If I'm granted the permission, I don't know what Lewis has found in the chat, but with your permission, maybe another 10 minutes.
Okay.
I don't know whether
Lewis,
the permission has been granted.
Yeah, so I have 6. Sorry. I have 6 people saying you can continue.
That's good.
Okay.
That's good.
All right.
10 minutes you're given.
Thank you, Coach.
Marisa, you can continue.
Thank you, Coach, and thank you, Lewis, as well. Okay, so we had looked at this opportunity. If you're gifted with hospitality, again, there's an opportunity for you in the sporting bit. You're probably now asking, okay, I have identified my gift. I love cooking, I love dancing, I love eating, I'm into sports. So what next? My what next is going to be answered by this quote. Even the greatest was once a beginner. Don't be afraid to take that first step. Take the first step. That is the what next now, so that you turn that passion, the gift, the skill into money. So take your first step, and you've already done that. If you've been able to identify your gift, your talent, your skill, or your passion, you've already done that. If not, then take some time even after the talk to do so. Then strategize, polish up. What is your skill? Do you need to polish up? Do you have what it takes? You have a good voice. What do you want to do with that voice? You have a skill. Do you need to polish up? Do you need to engage a coach? Do you need to get some help on just some direction? And then brand, so that as you're selling or you're supplying this sports equipment, you have a name. You're not just operating from nowhere, so that people recognize you, they know who you are. You can also identify the platform you want to do this on. Social media is powerful, I guarantee you. So you may want to begin your YouTube channel. You may want to open a Facebook page. You may want to, or a Facebook group, a page or a group. You may want to open an Instagram account, because these have a lot of following. So whatever it is you're doing, you can also create that visibility, so that you're identifying a platform, and then I think I'm going ahead of myself. You create that visibility. So you may need to download some apps like the YouTube app, Facebook app, for you to be able to do this. Then create visibility. And how do you create visibility? Because when you tell people, hey, I'm here, You need to show them what it is that you want to offer them. So you cannot say, hey, I supply this kind of branded equipment, I supply balls, yet you don't have them. You don't have the footballs to supply, or you don't have the tracksuits to supply. So go ahead and now do it. Begin that supply. If you need to create your YouTube fitness video because you're an instructor to let people know what it is that you have and what you're offering, go ahead and do this as well. You can also engage social media influencers like Aziad, like Eric Omondi, so that they can actually influence, give that influence on social media. They are following, they have very great followings. So they are following, you can tap into that following as well and get moving. Number 3, keep going, don't give up. Oh, don't give up, don't try to give up, and keep learning. Because like Coach Maina says, you keep learning, we keep learning because life never stops teaching. So keep learning, keep going, don't give up. And number 4, evaluate or re-strategize, look back, assess what it is you have done. What is working, what is not working? Where do you need to improve? Where do you need to maybe just let go of it? And then there is this quote, successful men and women keep moving. They make mistakes, but they don't quit. Are you a successful man? Are you a successful woman? Then you cannot quit, keep moving. Don't quit. And finally, is there an opportunity you have seen? Are you ready to grab it? Are you ready to run with it? Are you ready to start that gym? Are you ready to start supplying that equipment? Are you ready to begin that Airbnb? Are you ready to begin that consultancy, the sports events management? Are you ready to do that? Do you want to try it out? Do you want to grab that opportunity? An interesting thing is this one. In the end, we only regret the chances we didn't take. All those opportunities are there for us to take. So let us not get to a point where we regret and say, oh, I wish I had tried that. In the end, we only regret the chances we gave me as well. I'll take any questions. We'll take any questions. Coach Maina is also here with us. So feel free to ask them. If you'd like to unmute your microphone, again, go ahead and do that. If not, you can type it in the chat and we should be able to respond to that. Thank you very much for your patience and for listening to us. And something, is there a light bulb that has gone off in your head? Thank you. Ladies.
Karibu sana, karibu sana, karibu sana.
Lewis, are there any questions in the chat?
Karibu sana, Marissa. Before Lewis come in, I want to take this opportunity to say thank you for that very powerful presentation. You have unpacked for us the huge opportunities there are in sports so that Kenyans stop becoming just a cheering squad and we see the business side of sports. Because honestly, you see how we did well in Japan. We were in Japan early this month and part of July. Then we got now the junior championships here in Kenya. Our team did very well. We have been getting a very good name when we go to sports, but we do not tap into it to make money. Other people are doing this, not us. Those who are in Nairobi, you know, every Friday, our schools in Nairobi, the students wear tracksuits. Tracksuits. Can you imagine how many schools are in Nairobi? How many students are in Nairobi? And if all of them are buying tracksuits, but as a policy, and how much money goes into that? And who makes that money? Because what we are trying to do in Azima is to try to open our people to opportunities because we are not doing it sababu hatukufundishwa. We were not taught. We are teachable. I always say that I know, especially the middle class in Kenya, there are the people who did well in school and they are doing well at the place of work. But ikifika biashara inakuwa kizungumkuti because hawajafundishwa. Lakini whatever they have been taught, they learn quickly and run with it. I'm trying to create a powerful force from the middle class to enter business. And they do it now with the high IQ that they have. And we give them the money that is available to support entrepreneurship, and we can change this country. And we will, not we can, we will, definitely. I am very confident to say that we are going to do this. We are going to get that space and change it. So thank you very much. I want to hear the questions which are coming through. Marisa, I'm with you. I will answer the questions, both of us. And I have seen Nani has come in. Celestine has come in as well. Celestine, you can help us to get the questions coming. We are here to help each other, to at least develop the answers as they come along. So Marisa, you have me, you have your back covered, because I will help you to answer those questions and even explain them further. So
thank you.
Over to you back, Celestine and Lewis. Read the questions on the chat, and anybody who want to ask a question directly, you can just unmute and ask any question, and any suggestion is welcome. And because this is a talk, all of us have ideas to give. You can tell us what it is you would want us to do. The goal is simple. We want to improve our income. And one of the things that we've not been doing as Kenyans is to earn from our big name in athletics and football also. We are very good in football because we have got people who are playing in the big league in Europe, European League. So how can we leverage this? What are we not doing well? And how come that Kenya is always listed among the top nations? Lakini ukiangalia vizuri, honestly, we are not tapping into that. And a big name, by the way, what do you call influencers? Influencers. So we want to get into this space. Ni knowledge tu hatuna na tutaipata. Azima Academy has got to this space to help Kenyans think like entrepreneurs, think business, and not just thinking. We will do, and we'll show you how to do. That's what we do. So karibu sana. Back to you. Over to you again, Marisa.
Thank you very much, Coach, for that. Indeed, we are going to do it. It's not just thinking. I agree with you 100%. We are going to do it. Thank you so much even for that. Celestine.
Thank you, Marisa.
Karibu sana. Kindly take us through. Are there any questions that have been raised in the chat?
Thank you. Thank you for the presentation. That was very eye-opening. I have really learned something. Great nuggets over there, Marisa. Well done. And thank you, Coach. So on to our chats this evening. There are so many accolades here on the presentation. The team, the audience really loved the presentation. Furaha says, great presentation, quite informative. District Trainer Jane Katuga says, are we going to have the recording? And I think, as we had said over the other meetings, you can check the presentation on our social media or on YouTube. You'll definitely get the recording there. And yeah, feel free to listen to it again and grasp as much as you can from the presentation. Very profound presentation. Lane says, thank you for that beautiful presentation. It is very enlightening. Phoebe says, great work, Marisa. Thank you for sharing. Margaret says, thank you for the presentation. It is mind challenging. Phoebe has a question. How do you benchmark the price for your services? For example, if you are an artist specializing in painting, how do you calculate your effort and translate it into the price? Or if you are a public speaker, but new to the field and don't know what to charge. So you can address that question. Kenneth Kitonga says, thank you for the great presentation. It's a great eye-opener. And Samuel Wahome says, very well articulated. Thank you. So yeah, Phoebe is the only one who has a question right now. Feel free to keep chatting your questions as we wind up. But back to you, Marisa and Coach. You can address Phoebe's questions.
Do you want to go first, or I do that? Marisa, you want to go first?
Kindly do that. Kindly do that, Coach. Kindly.
Thank you very much. And before I even answer anything, I want to take this opportunity to welcome my coach, Jane Katunga. I'm happy that Jane is here. Hi, Jane. I salute you and karibu sana for this for attending today's session.
Thank you.
Jane is one of the senior coaches. She's been with us. She's very strong in mental wellness and emotional wellness. We've been together since the time we started the physical classes in Tumaini House, and we are good friends. We are both Rotarians, and she's actually a big, the district Rotarian, trainer in Rotary. So we are well covered. Thank you very much, Jane.
Thank you.
The question which I have had asked by Phoebe, it's simple. I'm seeing that my internet is unstable. I hope you're hearing me. How do you charge for what? The question was, how do you charge for what exactly? Remind me.
How do you benchmark the price for your services? For example,
Benchmark.
So you want me to continue?
Continue.
Okay,
continue.
so she says, for example, if you're an artist specializing in painting, how do you calculate your effort and translate it into price? Or if you're a public speaker, but new to the field and don't know what to charge?
Okay, there is something that is called charge out rate. Charge out rate. That is what all consultants use a charge out rate, those who do it professionally. I know most people are just juakali, but the benchmarking is the easiest way to do it, because all what you do is you look at what other people are charging, and you enter the market and try and start doing it, like public speaking. We know that the rates which are paid at the lowest level, there are those who pay 5,000 and have said this before, like churches. I'm called to churches. I speak pro bono. Lakini ukitoka unapewa kabahasha kamewekwa fuel, unaambiwa ni fuel ya gari. So around 5,000. Na sio pesa kidogo, by the way, because if you have those frequently, that 5,000 si watu wengi wana earn 5,000 in 1 hour. Hello, public speaking, you don't speak the whole day. You speak for 1 hour or 2 hours at most. And unapewa bahasha ya 5,000. It's a fun mzuri. What you need to do is to market yourself to get many of those opportunities. Those days when you were doing physical training, there are days I used to go for 3 sessions. I go a session in the morning, and after tea break, I'm in another place, and afternoon, another one. And each of those places, I get an envelope. Even if you say that 5,000 times 3 in a day, then I market myself well, and I have those sessions, let's say even 4 days in a week. You can see how much money that is. So it's very good money. But apart from that, we all know that those who are a big name, like now you people, when you're beginning to do public speaking, the ones we are training, because already we are training people in public speaking. And please join us in September. We have cohort 4 beginning. You can register. You can talk to my PA for that. When you train and you're a beginner, you don't have a name, you don't have a brand. So what you do is that you charge from the low level, then you go improving and benchmarking what other people are doing. But there's a scientific way that you do charge out rate. The same case with a painter. We pay depending on the quality of the work and every other skill, because painting is a skill. You have learned it, you have perfected it, so your level cannot be the same with the other. Even masonry, carpentry, even cooks, even let's say people like events planners. The way you pay them, the way they charge you, the quotation they'll give you has a lot of other factors that goes into it. We train this because after we prepare people to become consultants, we don't leave them to go out in the market without knowing how to charge for their services. Because I know, I have been there, and I was an employee, I'm a professional, trained in university. I worked, we were going to a job that has a job description and a salary attached to it. That's what the style we know. But now when you come to consultancy services, the ground shifts, it changes. So there is a scientific way. We train that. We can't do it everything here, but I just want to say that yes, there is a formula and we'll show you how to do that. But benchmarking, what you do when you hear politicians are going to Israel to benchmark, they go to compare how they do things there and how we do here. Shida, our Jamaa, by the way, they don't come and do the things and they fuko. Wengine wanaenda Dubai, wanaona how things are going well there. When they come here, they just went for a holiday. So benchmarking is good, very good, by the way, because you see what other people are doing, then you compare yourself with them, and then you can learn from them and improve. Reskilling and retooling will improve your charge out rate, which we'll talk about it in a later date, because the details are many. There are about 7 different factors that you consider, but yes, there is that formula that you use. So I hope, Phoebe, I have given you an indication, not all the details because I cannot be able to give them right here. And I want you people to know that apart from what we do in the talks, I normally have training programs. We do training because training go deep, and we do things in a scientific way. And we have got modules and sessions that we use to train so that you can be able to get molded. By the time you are finishing, you're on a different level, and you can also teach. And in Azima Academy, if you follow Azima Academy, what you are doing, we have got many courses that we are offering, all meant to empower you to get into the consultancy space and do it well. I have been saying that we are paying people per hour, and we are starting our beginning entry point is $10 per hour. You can see how much one that is. Those who can Google what American they pay, or you talk to your friends in America, they'll tell you how much they are paying per hour in America. So Azima Academy, yes, is doing good because our rates are at a level where, honestly, we feel good, and we want to pay people well because we want Azima Academy to become one of the best payers, and it will become. I have been telling people that I do not talk about any business that are shallow. I want to have a business that has got big money. I have always wondered how SK Masharia moved from Madhu Paper, he went to Royal Card, then Royal Media. Now these guys have got Chopper, by the way. He's now running around with the politicians, and they are the one who follow him. What does he do? Story 2. This guy cannot even run a deck. Afadhali me am Azimio, yes, I have an Azima Academy, but I train. I understand this thing. Have you ever heard SK Masharia speaking? He has employed the best media personalities in Royal Media. Same case with Kiprono Kitoni. Kiprono Kitoni, who is a guy behind Radio Africa. Wow, star-studded. In those two, Royal Media, and if you look at Radio Africa, you can agree with me that these guys cannot even turn a deck. Afadhali DJ CK, and God rest his soul in peace. DJ CK used to go to Capital, and he had some programs he was doing. He even became DJ CK. Lakini SK Mashari and Kiprono Kitoni are a very good example. I want to tell you today, don't limit yourself to what you can do. I normally say that if you start a business in your area of training, then you do that business, you are a technician. Don't ever tell people that you are an entrepreneur, because you are not. You are a technician, a doctor who go to hospital to treat, a teacher who go to class to teach, kama Azimio, vile nafanya. And I'm happy that Marisa Sasa, I want more of you to come and be doing this. You can see the accolades which have come through. I was in a funeral. We are burying my auntie today. I got late, and you see now problems come to usher in a new level. So we had talked with Marisa, and we were planning to co-host. But you see, because I was held up, she's done it. And Marisa, you have done very well. I'm happy. And you even had to ask for extension.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Coach.
This is very good. I am impressed, and I want us to continue and have other people coming through. So now you are qualified. You can be able to do full 2 hours. full 2 hours. I have seen that you can make this because you even ask for time extension. So this is very good, and I will be continuing to do more of this. But what I would want to say is that we are learning new things that have not been taught to us. And you cannot just know. You cannot just wake up and know what to do, like riding a bicycle. If you never did it, if you never learned how to balance a bicycle, huwezi make. Kweli huwezi make. Lazima ufundishwe. Hata kama wewe ni mzee. Kama ulikuwa unajua, there is no process of unknowing. Maybe you not do it very well, but kidogo kidogo tu unashika rhythm. Kama ulijua kupika ugali when you are young, nyumbani kwenu, and unajua kupika ugali, hiyo ratio ya maji na unga ndio sasa itoke ugali, sitoke uji. Kama unajua. So those people who are not trained how to cook, kupika ni ngumu. Kama chapo, mimi na sababu sikupika chapo kwetu, kukanda chapo ikuwe round. Kukanda hiyo dafu, yes, chapo zikuwe soft. Marisa, chapo zangu zinakuwa ngumu, chekelewa. By our house manager hana maso. By the way, she make very soft chapos, very soft, round. It's not about experience. Sio masomo. It's not masomo. The experience. How many hours? How long have you been doing this? So for you to improve, you need to be patient. Don't come and start speaking and you want to speak like me. You know that I have a wider experience. And I did not start the way I am today. I have grown over time. So what I'm trying to impress upon you is that come in, learn the ropes, practice and practice. Keep on practicing and keep on learning. Have an appetite for doing this. Anytime you, like now, today I was the MC in the funeral. So when they hear Azimio Yuko, generally they give me the mic. The mic comes to me. Anyway, that's what I enjoy also. To me, it's not work, it's fun. And when you get a mic, you have to teach them. I was teaching people wellness. So you see, you can imagine, I'm given the opportunity and people work on me assemble. Alafu nisome tu mambo ya vile kuna lazima niseme kitu ambayo inahusu what we do. So I was selling Azima. I did actually. I championed wellness because I want everybody to learn about this. So we are champions and we have a cause. There's a reason why we are doing this. We have a goal, and together we shall do it. We will prevail. Kwa hivyo, I'm very happy. So if there's another question, Celestine, it can come through. I can see time imeenda kabisa, lakini if there's another question, I can take it up and we go. Unmute, Celestine.
Sorry about that. So we don't have any other question on the chat box. Phoebe says, thank you so much for the response and feedback. You're most welcome, Phoebe. Yeah, so that's all we have on the chat box this evening.
Okay, thank you. Maybe Marisa, if you have got a parting shot, and I would want us to go towards a close. You can imagine my day has been very tight, and woke up very early in the morning to be able to travel with the team to Moranga for the funeral. We've been studying the whole day. Just come back, and still here. You can see my commitment. I want to make this thing happen, and I'm happy that people came in and they're still there. We have actually gone almost 3/4 of an hour, and people are still there. We still have 18 people. Asanteni sana. We always value you, and we honor you. That you choose to spend your time with us. I know you are also tired. You have been working the whole day, and coming in, it's an honor. It's an honor, and we hope we give you value, and we'll continue doing that. So whatever Marisa has talked about today, we'll now unpack it to the next level to numbers. How much money is there? Then I'll show you how you package a business proposal for funding, because I know some people, by the way, you are very good, but you are caught off guard by COVID. The money that you had, you're finished. You want to start a new job, finished. Maybe you are doing a business, went down. Beginning is a bit difficult, and when you apply for funding, unasema ampewi sababu amujui ni nini. There's things that there are parameters that we check to say yes. So I would want to tell you that there is a way that you can write a business proposal to get funding very quickly. Kirubi used to say that the importance of a pitch is for the investors to plead with you to invest in your business. Why would they plead with you? Because they can see the kind of money that your business is going to generate, and they want to grow their money. In fact, most venture capitalists, they have been given a pool of money by different investors to look for placement where they can put that money to generate higher returns. That means they're also in business, they are paid a commission. When they get money placed into a business, they get a certain percentage of the profit that is generated by what they invest in your business. So they want to see people who can think a big business. And that's what we had actually, yesterday we were doing induction in TEF on how we are going, the parameters that the board of Tony Elumelu Foundation has come up with, what we'll be using to judge the pitches which have come in. And basically what we do in Azima Ventures Capital is what they're also doing. So we are integrating very well. And I can assure you that there's nothing that is going to stop us from getting into the African common market and do a thorough business. I know Kenyans have got very good sharp brains. They just need to be shown how to think business, and you will do it. And we are here to guide you. Kwa hivyo msikuwe na wasiwasi hata kidogo. So let everybody have that positivity. Negativity tuache tafadhali. Negativity, because what you focus on grows. When you focus on negativity, it becomes your world. If again on the other side, you focus on positivity, it grows. Whatever you think, if you think it cannot be possible, you are right, because your mind will start shutting down. But when you think that it must be done, there's no, I never stop until I win. Your mind starts looking for avenues to make it happen. And that is just what I am requesting you to do. Believe it can be done in any circumstances, then come and join me. That's why I do mountains, because the moment we see a peak and we say that we want to summit, nothing will stop us from doing that. Kama kuna nguo zinataka kubebwa, kama kuna gloves zinataka kuwekwa, kama ni nini, na uko na guide. You know, we don't go for hiking without a guide. Same case in business. I am your guide in business, and we are doing it big. So if you are willing to get this happening, and not just business, by the way, if you want to become a business yourself, as a consultant, you are a business yourself. So we can monetize you. And that's why Marisa today was talking about gifts that are God-given, talents which you have developed, skills which come from your working. Most of this middle class, you are working in places and you have been accumulating skills during your working life. All the things that you have gone through, none should go to waste. Because all what you need to do is to look at how can you make money out of them. Just the way speaking, sometimes you take speaking for granted. I never knew that you could earn top dollars just because of speaking. Nowadays, when I'm invited to go and give a keynote address, and I used to get quite many of them when we were doing town hall meetings. The kind of money they pay freight. Father Mombasa, I've been to White Sands many times to go and give a keynote address. They pay for me freight. They come for me in the office. Even my driver does not even take me to the airport. In Kifika Mombasa, there's a driver waiting for me there to take me to White Sands. I go there and I'm taken to the best room. And the check they give me, it has got, at least now, this one I just said, it has got 6 digits. So you can imagine now, when I talk for only 40 minutes and I get a check with 6 digits. This is good, just because of speaking. Storytelling. What is storytelling about? Simple. It's the knowledge you have accumulated. You use it now to be able to inspire other people to do better. Practice, think through, organize it in a good way, which we show you how to organize it in our program, in public speaking. Then we introduce you to the market. So Karibuni sana. It's an honor to have you and everything else. Back to you, Marisa, so you can finish. Today is your day. I just interjected kidogo. Today is your day. You can go ahead and close for us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Coach, for those remarks. Thank you for shedding a lot of light and for urging us to keep going and to do something, and for the confidence and for believing that we can make it. Thank you very much, even for the opportunity to host tonight. And I really want to thank our participants, especially those that have waited. Thank you for those very kind remarks that you have shared in the chat. And we are also really grateful that you have learned something and that we can do this together. Remember something I said, that we only regret the chances we didn't take. We regret the opportunities that we didn't take. And together we can do this. There are opportunities here, let us go for them. So even as I finish up, just briefly, Azima is a group. Just allow me to, in 1 minute, do that, just zoom that. Azima is a group that has many branches. It has several arms. So as Azima, as a group, we exist to support life longevity to 120 years, as recorded in Genesis 6:3. Because God's desire is for us to live long. It's not for us to die young. So that is what Azima seeks to do. So there are several branches of Azima, like you can see projected. I'll mention just a few in the interest of time. We have the Azima Wellness Consultants, which is what has brought you this talk today. Actually, we have the Azima Academy, which teaches soft skills to supplement what is taught in academic schools, so that you're actually able to make this work for you out there. We also have Azima Comfort Homes in Nairobi that offer a serene accommodation for MICE and medical tourism for those people that are seeking medical help, just to be comfortable even as they get this help while they're in Nairobi. Then we also have Azima Springs. We believe that water is life and that our body requires quality water. So Azima Springs provides this. There's also Azima Media that has enabled you to be part of this, just to listen to this, and we are able to reach so many people all over the world as long as they speak English. So next time, please invite more of your friends that speak English. And thank you, a personal thank you to all my friends that I invited that are here. I have seen all of you. I acknowledge you. Thank you very much. And then there's the Azima Foundation that supports, that gives back. This is our charity arm. We support youth empowerment by reskilling and retooling them for the digital world. And finally, you can reach us through any of our platforms. There is, we are on Twitter at Maina Azimio. You can give us a call on the number that's projected. You can reach us via WhatsApp. You can drop us an email as well. We're on Facebook and YouTube at Maina Azimio. Please reach us. Then somebody had asked for a recording of this session and many others that have been recorded. In case you missed out on anything, then check out our YouTube, our website as well, azimawellness.com. Then we can also be reached on Instagram and LinkedIn as well. Thank you so much for your patience. Thank you for the time that you have put into this. We really appreciate you. We thank you for the feedback that you have given us, and we can call it a day. Celestine?
Thank you very much, Marisa and Coach. And as we come to the end of our session today, I would like to ask one of our amazing members to volunteer and end the session with a word of prayer. We would have a volunteer do that. Phoebe, a kind request. Would you mind ending us with a word of prayer if I am not ambushing you?
Celestine, thank you. Let us pray.
Thank you so much.
Father, in the name of Jesus Christ, we come before you this evening. We thank you for the gift of life. Thank you for our health. Thank you for the opportunities that you've provided us with. We also thank you in a special way for the presentation that we have had today. Thank you for our trainer. Thank you also for Azima Wellness Group that has given us this opportunity to meet and to learn together. We commit our health before you. We commit our careers before you. We commit our aims, our goals, our businesses, our ideas, and any other investment ideas that we may have before you. And we ask that you may direct our steps. We commit them before you, Lord, and ask that you may guide us. We pray for every person who is in this group today. We pray, Lord, that you may be able to meet them at their point of need, where they are unable to share with everyone else and to be able to verbalize for themselves. We pray that you may send the Holy Spirit to intercede for them and for them to grow closer to you. We commit everyone again who is here together with all the families that are represented. We pray for your blessings and your protection, Lord, for everybody that is here. We pray all this trusting and believing in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you, Phoebe.
Amen.
Amen.
Coach, would you have a word or we call it a night as where we are?
We call it a night.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for your participation and for being here. We are wishing you a very good night and the rest of the week. We hope to see you during our next session on Friday. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night, Celestine, and thank you.
Good night, Marisa. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you for your support too.
All right. Have a good night.
And you too. Thank you, Coach.